It was the summer of 1977, and I was just 16 years old. My boyfriend, who was 17, was leaving for college in the fall. His parents had very high expectations for him. My mother had just died from a long battle with cancer, and my father and I did not have a good relationship. So when I found out I was pregnant, it was a real problem. I was not a Christian at the time, but I remember placing my hands on my abdomen, knowing that the baby inside of me was alive and growing. But my boyfriend did not want a baby. He was leaving. I was afraid to tell my father I was pregnant. And abortions in the state of Kansas were both legal and available without parental consent. My thought process at that time was, well, the grown-ups in charge say I'm not old enough to buy beer, but I am old enough to get an abortion. So if abortions were really that horrible and really that bad, they would be illegal, but they weren't. And so that is what I did. I had what's called an aspiration abortion. And as I laid on the surgical table with my feet in the stirrups, feeling the suction and hearing the sound of that vacuum pulling my baby out of my body, it was the most dark and disturbing feeling I've ever experienced, and it still is. From the time I learned of my pregnancy until the time I took my baby's life, there was never a time where I did not know exactly what I was doing. I was not a victim of misinformation. I walked into that clinic to get rid of my baby because the law told me I could. I walked in pregnant. I walked out unpregnant. Problem solved. It was that simple. And today, mothers in all 50 states can perform their own abortions by taking the abortion pills, and each and every one of them knows exactly what she is doing, just like I did. The only victim I was, and every abortive mother is, comes from belonging to a protected class of people, mothers, who are enabled to kill their preborn children without consequence. And it was this lawlessness that actually victimized both me and my baby, because if abortion had been illegal, I would have understood that it was murder, just like any other murder, that I could be criminally punished for it, and I would never have done it. And no one could have made me do it because the laws against murder would have protected both my baby and me, and my child would be alive and with me today. Jesus said, "If you love me, keep my commands." Which of his teachings tell us it's okay to kill children as long as their heartbeats are not yet detectable? Or which of his teachings instruct us to give mothers a pass for murdering their children because these women are just victims? Jesus did not tell us any of those things, but pro life groups and their championed politicians do, and they continually block efforts that would protect women from murdering their own children. Regardless of their purported well intentioned strategies, the truth is that their words and actions are in direct opposition to the Word of God. Murdering anyone, regardless of how big or how small, how old or how young, where they're living or their degree of dependency, murdering anyone should be illegal for everyone.